observed that suspect.
Let's take a listen in now to that news conference. Chief Daniel Hahn is speaking.
And Fruit Ridge. Officers began to follow that suspect car as they waited for additional units to conduct a felony vehicle stop on that wanted vehicle for a homicide. The vehicle traveled in the south part of our city down Fruit Ridge, eventually northbound on Franklin. When additional officers arrived, the vehicle then turned eastbound on 27th Avenue, where officers attempted to conduct a felony vehicle stop on the suspect. Initially, after several admonishments, the suspect appeared to comply and threw his keys out of the car, but refused to show his hands as directed. After a few seconds passed by, the suspect emerged from the car and immediately started shooting a firearm, a handgun, at the officers and approaching them as he fired. 2 officers were struck. A 27-year veteran was struck in the torso. The round was stopped by his bulletproof vest. And a 12-year veteran of our department was struck in the leg. 5 officers returned fire at the suspect, and the suspect fell to the ground, where he was later pronounced deceased. At this part of the investigation, obviously, City Council has a policy that we will release all video related to officer-involved shootings within 30 days. We fully expect to comply with that policy and release that video within the next 30 days. Our officers, we expect them to be released from the hospital soon, and they have non-life-threatening injuries that we're very thankful for that. And I think in closing, this is an example of how fast things can happen and how dangerous this job is. So just to take you back to this morning, most of the people that responded to this call after the officers were shot were at a funeral for Sacramento County Sheriff Deputy French. And so as we're sitting there waiting for a funeral of one of our fallen law enforcement brothers, we get a text that 2 of our officers have been shot. And so we all responded. We had officers that were working in the county to cover the county jurisdiction, so sheriff deputies could attend their fellow deputies' funeral. And we had numerous officers respond to this call today from all sorts of agencies, from our own agencies. So we're very thankful for all the agencies that assisted us today. And we're thankful for our officers that are going to survive. But I'd just like to remind everybody that as we're at a funeral for one of our fallen law enforcement brothers, we now have 2 officers that were injured, that have families that are now worried about them going to work tomorrow also. So we appreciate the community's support. We appreciate the community's patience with the traffic and all the other things that took place today, and we're very thankful that our officers are okay. And with that, I'd open it up to any questions.
And there you have it, Chief Daniel Hahn providing a live update on this terrible news today. 2 Sacramento officers shot in the line of duty. The good news being that their injuries are non-life-threatening. They are expected to be okay. We do know that the suspect in this case was killed as officers fired back. And so we will be following this breaking news story throughout the evening. For the very latest on today's shooting and more on Deputy Robert French, check out abc10.com. and the ABC 10 Facebook page. And now to the other top stories we are following today.